Ladies and gentlemen, members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen, presidents, my dear friends, c'est un plaisir de vous revoir. Dear participants, I am very happy to be here with you. It is very nice to be among you for talking about this topic, a topic so important as tourism training is. When we think about Morocco, we think about Marrakesh, we think about the sun in January, couscous, tagine, the beaches. But more than that, even the tourism sector, that is the topic around which we're gathered here today, is really at the heart of the economic and social development of our country. Today, it represents more than 7% of the GDP. It is the first source of foreign currency in our country, and it represents 13 billion of dollars of expenses from the part of the tourists who visit us, and it creates direct and indirect employment. 500,000 jobs are created thanks to tourism, and today there are many sectors that hire, but we cannot have a machine at the reception of a hotel in order to welcome a guest. So even though we have a lot of technological changes, I think that the sector of tourism is going to still need people and is still going to play a very important role in employment of youth. This sector was the first sector that implemented a strategy promoted by our king. It was a voluntary strategy for developing tourism because our king had the will to develop this area. And however, this sector has seen many transformations at country level and also at regional level, but Morocco was able to go back to its roots and the values of tolerance, openness, and also to continue to consolidate its position, I think, are all very important. And that's why the destinations of Morocco are #1 destination in Africa with over 12 million tourists. Obviously, it is very dwarfed by your figures of 80 or 90 million tourists, but it's still the top #1 destination in Africa with over 12 million tourists in our country. Today I am here in order to speak to you about our dynamics and what we do, and to really invite you to come and be with us in all these dynamics. Our reality is more and more competitive. The consuming habits of tourists also have changed a lot. The digital platform made everything change so much, and also the airline industry was completely changed by the emergence of low-cost airlines. The distribution, everything changed in this sector over the past few years, and this has happened so fast that training must be up to date and up to the speed. And today, when we invest, it's not enough to invest only in renovating a room. We have to invest in the whole value chain. Renovating our hotels, renovating everything, and quality is the crucial word here and the key word here. And the priorities have also changed over the years, and the training obviously has to adapt to these changes, and that's why we need to be accompanied and helped by the private sector. In Morocco, 85% of training in this sector is done by the state, by the government, and only 13% is catered for by the private sector. So we really need more help, whether it is with programs, with schools, catering schools, exchanges of students. We really do need to be accompanied more strongly. A couple of months ago, there was a meeting that was organized with the king, His Majesty the King, and he gave his directives in order to reboost tourism training in our country, to visit and see again the demands, the needs, reevaluate the differences between needs, demand and offer. And I don't want to talk too much about our strategy. I know that I only have 3 minutes, but we obviously the policies are very important. The policies, we have to implement a strategy. We have to make sure that there is a reboost of this sector. We have three leverage to do this. The first one is the airline connections. We signed a contract, and that was the development, a key point for developing tourism in Morocco. Now, many destinations are directly connected to our markets, also with low cost, our airline routes. It's very important. It's not only an airline openness, but it means opening on oneself up to the database of EasyJet, Ryanair. Also, I should not be giving names or concrete brands, but the low costs have a great power in terms of reaching the market. And I think this airline connectivity has become a key in terms of promoting a destination in the sales. And only now only 3 or 4 companies represent 80% of the market. Even the world of promotion and marketing has changed. Training must go along with this trend and keep up with these changes. The second leverage is investment and quality investment. We have to be able to fund, the real estate is funded in a certain way, exploited and is invested and funded in another way. I think that all these changes have to be kept up with. And the other priority is training, obviously, and education. And for us, we can see this in the professional trainings, vocational training, to have also the youth go on the field to learn. Thank you.